It is college football conference championship time. Which teams are going to pull it out? Which teams are going to punch their ticket into the 12-team playoff? Or which team is going to come this far and get upset? We're going to find out today. I've got a few underdogs on the card today. This is the free three. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video. I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. I just try to get to the bag together and make that money. I just had to put my head down. I just had to breathe for a second because yesterday was frustrating day, right? I just wanted a 2-1 day, maybe a 3-0 day, but we got a 1-2 day instead. Packers and over. The teaser, no sweat bet there. The Packers get it done. The over easily cashes. I thought we even had a chance to go into overtime to maybe get the Jordan Love pass attempts. They decided not to throw the ball yesterday. They decided to just run the ball 50 times to Josh Jacobs, get him to score 3 touchdowns. Guess who's playing Josh Jacobs this week in fantasy football? And I need to win this game to get into the playoffs. Me. Out of everybody I have to play, I got to play the guy who scores 3 touchdowns, and they don't even give me the cash to bet with Jordan Love. You know what? It's whatever. We lost on the bet. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s points, we needed 20. He only finished with 15. They decided to play all their bench players. Marcus Smart had like 18. Aldama had like 15. Scottie Pippen Jr. had like 12. Literally, everybody on the bench had double-digit points, and Jaren Jackson Jr. still didn't even get 20, even though John Morant got ejected. Bad read there, 1-2 on the day. You can see our record right here. We're going to keep the momentum going, all right? Yesterday was not the way that we wanted to do it. The day before wasn't the way we wanted to go. I started to do something new because if I'm losing you money just because you're going 1-2 or we have some losing days here, I want to be able to find a way to pay it back. And if we do sweep the board, all you have to do is comment 30 below. And I'm going to give you guys a giveaway. I'm choosing one person in the comments. If we sweep the board, I'm going to Venmo you. I'm going to Cash App you. Just comment 30. You don't have to do 30 below. Shout out to the people who do 30 below yesterday. So just below, comment 30. We sweep the board. I got you guys paid. All right? Simple as that. We're just going to choose a winner, and that's going to be something new that we're going to do here on the channel. And make sure you guys are smashing that subscribe button for me, all right? We're so close to 1,000 subs here on the channel. Appreciate all the love and support. We just got to get that engine, that momentum sub train going, and we're going to get there, all right? I'm done yapping. Let's dive into these winners for today in this college football conference championship. So you guys can see the hat on. You probably know what team I'm going with, all right? The first game, UNLV Boise State. Who's going to get it done, okay? This game is played not on a neutral field like a lot of these conference championships games are. This played at Boise State. Who's going to take home the Mountain West Championship? It's going to be a toss-up. But for me, I'm leaning with the Running Rebels here, plus 4.5, minus 110 odds. I'm not saying they win the game, but I do think they cover this 4.5-point number. Why? Because I just think everybody's hype on Boise State, and rightfully so. They're a great program. They have an amazing season. And Ashton Jeanty, I mean, he's been as dominant of a player as Travis Hunter has been or any other college football player has been this year. And when you look at this UNLV defense, though, I feel like they're going to be able to hold him at bay a little bit. Why? Because they were able to do that earlier this season when these two teams faced off. These two teams played off earlier this season, and Boise State was able to pick up the W inside of that game. But when you break it down a little bit deeper, it was a 29-24 win for Boise State, but UNLV had an interception inside of their own 20-yard line, which basically set up UNLV for a 7-yard, or Boise State for like a 7-yard touchdown. So an easy walk in. And then it required basically a fourth quarter field goal to be able to beat UNLV, and a 4-for-4 on fourth down. So everything worked out for Boise State in their first matchup. A bad interception, missed field goals by UNLV, converting all your fourth down attempts, and that's not going to happen today. Everything's on the line today. UNLV knows what's at stake. If they win this game, they're into the college football playoff. And the thing about UNLV is they have not been bad all year. We have our future riding on Boise State, so I don't want Boise State to lose. Remember at the beginning of the year, I took 2 teams, Utah and Boise State, to make the college football playoff. We're still pending that future on Boise State. Utah's cooked. But UNLV is a team that if Boise State didn't make it, I said you got to keep an eye on UNLV. Why? Because their only 2 losses of the season came to Boise. I just spoke about how that loss happened. And then to a top 25 Syracuse team that just literally beat Miami. And then it also took overtime and a little bit of help from the refs to lose that game. Now, UNLV, neutral field, well, not neutral field, but, what's at stake here. It's at home for Boise State, so that is an advantage for them. But the thing about it is the Rebels are giving up about 3 or so yards per rush. They have the stronger defense here. The question is, are they going to have time on offense to throw the ball and pick apart this Boise State defense? The key for UNLV is to score points, because if they score points, we know that's what Boise State likes to do, but they also know they like to run the ball. Genty only had about 150 yards against UNLV. I know that sounds like a high number when we're talking about 150 yards, but when you're talking about a guy who's breaking off 250 for 3 touchdowns every single game, getting him 100 yards is not too bad, right? And then also, if you force Boise State to throw the ball, that's where they're most vulnerable. Their quarterback, Maddox Matson, he's thrown for 21 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions this season, but he's had about 12 turnover-worthy plays, including one against UNLV. So for me, this is a Rebel team that is one of the top in all of college football in terms of turnovers forced. I believe they're going to load the box, obviously what a lot of teams will try to do, but you're going to literally try to force Matson to throw the ball. And if Matson throws the ball, that is where Boise State's most vulnerable. I saw a stat on Action Network that Matson only has 6 big-time throws this season. Literally 6. So he's not had to be dependent on at all this year. And if UNLV takes the lead in this game, especially down the fourth quarter, which is what we have seen from this Boise State team lately, because they've literally had to escape wins as of recent. It took a back and forth affair against San Jose for them to win. They only beat Nevada by a touchdown at home. It took a fourth quarter touchdown to beat Wyoming in Wyoming, which is not a very good team. All the writings on the wall that says Barry Odom and UNLV can pull out this win and make their way to college football playoff. I'm not going to go that far, sprinkle a little bit on the money line, but the Mountain West is up for grabs. UNLV plus 4.5. Give me the better coaching. Give me the better defense. I love it. Genty's the best player on the field, rightfully so. If he has a Heisman moment, a Heisman game, and I lose this bet, I'm okay with it. But the way Boise State's been going, they've been trending down. Meanwhile, UNLV, they've been flying very much under the radar. And a lot of times people are not paying attention to a team like UNLV, and they've been able to score points, they've been able to put up points. If Ricky Williams, their star wide receiver, if they can get him the ball, they're going to win this game, or at least cover this 4.5 point spread. Comes down to a last minute field goal. UNLV plus 4.5 to get it done. Second conference championship game. I think we're going to go over to the Conference USA here. And another 4.5 point spread that I like. And we go with Western Kentucky plus 4.5, minus 110 odds. Now, Western Kentucky is taking on Jacksonville State. This could literally be the water and vinegar, hot and cold type of football. One team loves to throw the ball. One team likes to run the ball. Western Kentucky has one of the most efficient passing offenses in all of college football. Meanwhile, Jacksonville State, they're willing to run the ball as much as they can. They like to play fast tempo, but they still like to run the ball a lot. So who's going to get it done here? Well, these two teams faced off literally last week, and it took a last-second field goal, but Western Kentucky got the win 19-17, despite them being underdogs in that matchup. Now they're 4.5 point underdogs again, but the big thing for me that I'm looking at is going to be the health of their quarterback for Jacksonville State, Tyler Huff. Like I mentioned, Jacksonville State likes to run the ball. Between Trey Stewart and Tyler Huff, they've combined for 35 rushing touchdowns on this season, right? But Tyler Huff got injured last week, and it's an ankle injury. And when you have a quarterback that's mobile, when you have a quarterback that likes to run the ball, and your offense is predicated on him running the ball, being an ankle injury is tough. It's not the same as a knee injury. It's not the same as a hip injury. It's not the same as a hamstring or a quad injury. Your ankle is literally what's there to support you and stabilize you when you're trying to make cuts, when you're trying to juke out defenders, when you have to pull the read option in real quickly, and then you have to put that leg in the ground, plant, and take off. If he can't do that today, this whole Gamecocks offense is going to be literally obliterated. It's literally going to be destroyed. He's the game time decision. I think he plays, but because of what's at stake. But if he doesn't play, that's even bigger of an advantage for Western Kentucky, and I guarantee you it's going to literally drop down to a pick 'em at that point, right? If you want to take the under 58, I'm not opposed to that either. It's a Jacksonville State defense that statistically is very bad on the passing defense side of the ball. They're the worst passing defense in the FBS, ranked 128th in passing success rate allowed, 127th in rushing success allowed. So for me, the Hilltoppers are going to win this game. They won last week to kind of boost their confidence coming into here, but just all the question marks surrounding the quarterback for Jacksonville State, plus them running the ball. You can't do that against a team that likes to throw the ball a lot. And the thing about this Hilltoppers win last week, 19-17, it literally took 4 field goals and then a few fourth down stops, but they were in the red zone. They were in the red zone literally 5-6 times. They had to just get field goals or just get stopped at the 4th down. They'll convert those for touchdowns today. It's easily a blowout. So for me, Western Kentucky, sprinkle some on the money line. We're taking that as our second best bet of the day. 2 college football winners down, 2 underdogs down. Let's head to the college basketball hard real quick. And let's go for one more underdog here. This is the side, or I should say, kind of like a trend that I've been looking at over the past week or so. We've got burned on it a few times. We're taking advantage of it right now. And that is, we're going to go with the home team, and then even though they're an underdog, we're going to go with the home team that has the home court advantage playing against a team playing their first true road game. So Northwestern against Illinois. We're taking Northwestern plus 4.5, minus 120 odds. The line is moving on this. It was at 2.5. It was at -3. Now it's at 4 on certain books. I'm going to buy the hook at plus 4.5. Northwestern is taking on an Illinois team that's 6-1 on the year. Illinois is very, very good. Their only loss came against Alabama, 100-87. That game was in Birmingham, so it's kind of like a semi-away game. This team is top 25 in both offensive and defensive efficiency, and they're one of the fastest teams in all of college basketball, playing at a number 42 in terms of adjusted tempo. Now you have a Northwestern team that's 6-3 on the year. Their only losses, though, Dayton, 71-66 on the road. On a neutral floor to Butler, 71-69. In their last game on the road to Iowa, 80-79. I was watching that Iowa game. Northwestern did a lot of good things in that game. The only mistake that they had was in the very last second of the game. There was 0.7 seconds left on the clock. Iowa got the ball. They chucked up a long three-pointer, and they hit it. If they win that game, this is easily a pick-em. It's a pick-em. But because they lost that game, it is now +3, +4. I get it. Illinois is a good program. It's a good school, but they have not played any true road games yet. They played Arkansas on a neutral floor, and they played Alabama in Birmingham. That's not Tuscaloosa. Every other team that they played thus far have been at home and have been 150th or higher on KenPom, and really 200th and higher. The only team that they played within the 100 besides Alabama and Arkansas was Oakland. Now they have to travel on the road to Northwestern in Evanston, Illinois, which is a very tough place to play because Northwestern's more of a basketball school than they are any other sport. Yes, they did lose Boo Buie due to graduation. He was a great player for them, but they've been able to kind of restack up. They've got Nick Martinelli. They've got Jalen Leach. They've got Ty Berry. These are all juniors and seniors who have a lot of experience, not just playing in collegiately, but also playing for this Northwestern squad. And I like them here at home. First true road environment for Illinois. If they get the win, okay. I just don't need them to win by more than 5 points. I don't think that happens. And I love the fact that Northwestern plays at 322nd in terms of adjusted tempo. So one of the slowest teams of all of college basketball against one of the fastest teams. Typically, I lean with the home team in this situation, especially when you have a home environment like Northwestern, and also when you have the players that Northwestern does. This is a Big Ten conference game. You don't want to start off 0-2 in conference play. And seeing how they just lost to Iowa, they can go one of two ways. They can get completely obliterated and be down in the dumps and say, woe is me, or they can look at their ability to rebound and turn this thing back around at home. And I think that's what this Northwestern's going to do. They're very well coached by Chris Collins. This is a guy who's gone to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. I like them here. Give me Northwestern plus 4.5 at home. First true road environment for Illinois. I'm not willing to back that. We did that earlier this week in Kansas. We got bit in the ass about it. We saw Auburn lose to Duke in their first true road environment. That matters in college basketball. So we're going to back that theory today. Give me Northwestern on the spread at home as an underdog. Sprinkle the money line on all of these. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners. I'm giving you guys 3 underdogs. When do I ever do that? I never go all underdogs. Hey, but we're going to do it today. UNLV plus 4.5. Let's take the Running Rebels. Let's go Western Kentucky plus 4.5 and Northwestern plus 4.5. All 3 underdogs, 2 college football, 1 college basketball. Let's tuck it in. And you guys sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Sprinkle even less on a money line parlay on all 3 teams. Hey, you never know, it might pay out. Let's celebrate a win. And if we get a 3-0 sweep, comment below, drop that 30, and I got you guys on tomorrow. And as always, we've got a college football blitz session tomorrow, so make sure you guys tap in for that. For conference championship Saturday, we'll want to get those winners. And as always, get to that cheddar, dictate your fate. And I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Later, guys.